Hello, welcome back. Today we got episode 15 of things DIORPIUM wants you to hear. Um, I feel like I'm looking a little rough, but everything really is good. Still got a little black eye. It was bad last week. I'll get into that later. But my whole face was swollen right here. Like you turn it to the side, and I looked like I was telling my sister I looked like the shark from Shark Tales or whatever. Just kind of like that rounded face right here, if you know what I mean. But here we are. I think we should just get right into it. Number one, unlock the phone. Scroll down. Sorry. Episode 15. Number one, let's make a fuss to get Charles Johnson's loss to Ramazan Temirov reversed or whatever to a win or a no contest at least. Instead of, let's try to make his record a little bit more beautiful, if that makes sense. I think he's 18-7. We can make it 18-6-1. Or we could just make it a win. Since it went to decision anyway, just reverse it. 19-6. Could do that. If you don't know, this happened a minute ago, but, I saw some post or something about it that reminded me of it. And I think it honestly just is deserving. It just feels like there's not a justice that's been handled yet with this case. He popped for trimetazidine or whatever. Let me tell you right here, the AI Google review. TMZ is an acronym for it. I think it's an acronym. That's the right terminology or whatever. Is a heart medication used in Europe and other regions, but not in the U.S. for treating stable angina, in parentheses, chest pain, by improving heart's energy metabolism, making it more efficient at using oxygen and shifting energy production from fatty acids to glucose. How it works: metabolic shift. It inhibits fatty acid oxidation, in parentheses, a less oxygen efficient process, and promotes glucose oxidation, in parentheses, a more oxygen efficient process. Cellular protection. This metabolic change helps protect heart cells during low oxygen conditions, preserving energy and preventing damage. Sounds pretty good for recovery, in my opinion. Uses as an add-on treatment for chest pain for narrowed heart arteries. That's the true intention for it. Or vertigo or tinnitus, obviously to treat dizziness and ringing in the ears. In the sports context here, it's a prohibited substance. The WADA lists it as a banned substance because it's a performance enhancement. It's believed to improve endurance and efficiency, especially in high exertional sports. So high, fast-paced sports, aka fighting or whatever. The ability and side effects, availability. It's approved in Europe, but not in the U.S. or whatever. Common side effects: dizziness, headache, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. Anyway, basically, my stupid brain, how I take it is it just allows oxygen to officially make your body run better or whatever. I don't know. I read it to you. You know what it means. Obviously, it helps with I could just with recovery, I'd say, and maybe even like just allowing your heart to get a better, efficient way to, process your conditioning, if that makes sense, or to make it more efficient. It's PED regardless, and it's not okay. It's not allowed. So, it went to decision anyway. Reverse it. Let Charles Johnson get his dub. Let's make his record a little bit prettier. Dude got literally banned for a year for taking this shit. So, and that's like one of only Charles Johnson's losses recently in his MMA career. Number two, Rob Perez. The Wolf from Dirty Boxing versus Scarface from Street Beefs. Now, they got a beef. I'll kind of explain it to you. I'm not going to put any clips up or whatever. You can go look at it on Instagram. It's weird. I'm still dictating whether I, want to believe it is as it is a real beef or if they're, behind the scenes working just to, get some, social media emotion going. Because, it seems a little bit real, but they're also, posting it together on Instagram. They're collaborating posts, if that makes sense. So that just seems kind of takes out the authentic factor of it. For me personally, a little bit, not all the way, but it is what it is. Basically, they had boxed or whatever, and the Wolf basically graped Scarface. In my opinion, I saw the video. Scarface. Excuse me. Um, Scarface posted, saying, you could debate that I won the first round on points or whatever, blah blah blah. I think the community agrees that he lost both rounds and got, like I said, graped or whatever. But he just is like, still talking to the Wolf about it online, trying to, trying to defend himself, but there really is nothing to defend, dude. You're like a little older, you know what I'm saying? I really, dude, I understand your heart. You're the owner of Street Beefs. You're the founder. Like, I get it. Trust me. I get the mysticism behind you, the aura you bring, and like you can't back down. Like, it just is what it is. Like, we all know Scarface and your story we know you and how you mentally work. We see you. We see it when you talk to these kids on Street Beefs when they're actually fighting there over some beef, and you make sure they squash it, shake hands. Like, man, we get the mentality, and it's it's positive. I support it, honestly. But you can't get too stuck into it to where you make yourself look stupid by over-explaining yourself and defending yourself on something that really doesn't have any, stability in it, if that makes sense. It is what it is. Rob Perez is younger. He's bigger. He actually, trains boxing, full-time, basically. He's probably going to beat up an old man. So there's no need to, run this back for the health of Scarface, in my opinion. And then, anyway, basically the point I'm trying to get to all this, that this is what I'm really looking forward to in all this, if it is real and not, orchestrated or whatever, is that Scarface was talking about him being at the Houston DBX5 event, and they can settle it there. So I'm looking forward to that, see if something happens in the crowd. The Wolves all for that. You just know Rob Perez, bro. He's going to be in there looking for Scarface just to get some just to get a moment. Because I don't think he's on that card, so he needs a moment for himself and, promotability. I mean, it's Scarface, sorry. I touched the mic. Scarface is, probably, almost in his 50s or in his 50s. I'm not going to lie. I'm not too sure on his age, though, or whatever. But, listen, let's hope shit pops off. I hope it's like a Khabib versus Conor at DBX5, but it's Scarface and the Wolf Rob Perez. This is what we need for promo. And, but one thing I don't want to see from all this is that Scarface hops in the DBX ring and fights Rob Perez. That would be murder live on YouTube, basically. And, I want the structural integrity of DBX to remain solid and have confidence in all, in the promotion and, the matchmaking and, even though the matchmaking is already a little skewed, we already went over, Paula Bittencourt versus Jessica Rose Clark. Really should have been Kat Nelson, Jessica Rose Clark, whatever. It's not. Boo-hoo. That sucks for me and Kat Nelson and everyone that, actually sees this false sense of reality for what it is. But basically, Because I don't want it to be like Misfits, bro, or you're having... Sorry, Jake's just taking the deepest breath out there. Sunbathing, my bad. Basically, I don't want the matchmaking to be like Misfits, where you're letting, I don't think DBX will ever let, streamers or whatever, but I think you need young or maybe even older athletes. You just need athletes that are actually, training the shit, not, picking it up as a hobby. I'm talking about training the shit for years, have experience, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I want to fight dirty boxing, seriously. Say I do. That is one of my goals in my life, to have see if I can make a dirty boxing run or whatever. But I know I got a bunch of work to do, and I need some more experience in the game. I think I should turn pro first, but I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it before I turn pro if I'm I'm a heavily advanced amateur, if that makes sense. Right now, I would get graped on free live on YouTube for free, not even on pay-per-view, unfortunately. Right now in my fighting career, I'm decent, but I got some work to do to be where I truly want to be, to where I can actually defend myself with my fight with the way I fight, defend my stance and how I feel like I am as a fighter or whatever. But I gotta prove it to not even to y'all, but to myself truly, and that's the wavelength that I'm on with that right now. But I hope something does come. Sorry, damn, it's loud as fuck. I hope something does come from the Rob Perez street beef wizard, basically. And I hope there is a crowd scuffle. I hope it's something that, I can look forward to seeing on my reels or watching live in the event. 'Cause obviously I'm going to be watching that shit live. I love DBX. So, number 3, this is a good question. I popped this out to my sister and Ellie a couple days ago. Would you rather sit through an hour of ads in a movie theater, but it's free, So you don't have to pay for the movie itself, and you get a free popcorn and drink, or just pay to have a normal amount of ads and need to pay for your own food or do it normally. Basically, and this is a very crucial part of this argument, is the size of the popcorn and the drink are medium, so there are no free refills. That's how they get you on that. We were having a heavy debate, but me personally, where I stand, and I want y'all to let me know where you stand. Talk to me in real life or comment, whatever. Me personally, a medium popcorn and a medium drink is all you need, bro. Now, you got to put into context of the situation that if you're sitting, first of all, it's all free if you're choosing that first option, because that's just what comes with it. But you also, like I said, you also get a popcorn and a soda, medium, so no refills, whatever. But you have the hour of ads. Are you gonna have the self-control to not sip your whole soda down to the core and eat all your popcorn before the movie starts? And if so you do, are you morally going to allow yourself to go out there to buy another one or buy a large one so you can get more refills? Like, would you personally sit through the hour of ads with your soda pop and popcorn for free? Or would you rather pay just to have a normal movie experience, same price as they are nowadays? I would sit through it. I personally think a medium popcorn and a medium soda is all you need. I wish I could have the confidence to say here that I would have the self-control to not drink it all before the movie even starts, but I think I would. But I don't know. I think I sit here and watch movies at home, and, I don't move, most of the time. I either pass out or I'm watching it, but either of those, I'm not getting up to go get a refill of my soda. You know what I mean? So personally, I'm sitting through the ads. I'm getting a free movie experience, free soda, free popcorn, whatever. That's me. Do you got time, basically, is the answer of that. Let me know what you guys think. That was a good question I had. I honestly debated it better explaining it with my sisters than I did on here, but I hope it makes sense. And yeah, let me know what you think. Number 4, we gotta do our deed, basically. We gotta do our deed. Go subscribe to Top by Tubbs on YouTube. Coach made a channel. And I'm just gonna try to make it make sense for you. I'm just gonna try to make it so you're able to comprehend how good this is for you if you don't train at my gym. Tubbs is a wizard. I'd say he's the wizard of, Georgia. I was gonna say Atlanta, but I think Georgia. The best striking wizard in Georgia. So when he posts clips of him holding pads for Dorian or Cass or Aaron, or not Aaron, not Shark Attack. Wait, Aaron? Yeah, it is Aaron. Posting, just look at how he holds his pads and beg your coach to replicate that. Does that make sense? You guys you guys need to know that you are blessed that Tubbs is posting clips of his pad work. That shit should not be seen on camera. If you're catching my drift, it is that. And I'm not trying to overly glaze. I'm just trying to let you guys understand your positioning now that Tubbs has blessed the internet with Top by Tubbs on YouTube. So if y'all can comprehend, y'all go do that. I'm not too sure what content he's going to post besides YouTube Shorts. But even the shorts within themselves could be so much more beneficial to you if you, do a analyzation, if that's a word, or a breakdown, or analyze that, or whatever. So, go subscribe to Top by Tubbs. Coach made a channel. Let's go. Number 5, the RAF wrestling. I'm not gonna go over the matches or whatever really, but what I really like is the Colby talking shit to Bo Nickel. And Jaden Cable asking the question of all questions, basically antagonizing this whole moment or argument or whatever. And, before we get into that, let's talk about the run Jaden Cable's on. I can see why they think he's an industry plant. I don't know if he is or not. Nobody knows. But regardless, the run he's on is, pretty admirable. So we got to give him props and give him flowers. He's going crazy. I find it entertaining. I'm not here to hate. I'm here to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a different type of aiding. No hating, appreciating. Different type of aiding, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I think Kobe on the mic is just, beautiful. He's a little cringe sometimes, and sometimes he overdoes it, but I think in the sense that it was how he was defending himself, but also talking shit about Bo, it was pretty good. He kind of, humbled Bo a little bit, but I don't think it was too necessary. I think it was more like entertaining than anything. I think the question that Jaden asked him was like something about Kobe still being ranked, or like, will this wrestling match have Dana view you a certain way to feel that you're actually like deserving of being ranked? Because I'm pretty sure Dana said in an interview or something that he just like he thinks it's a good point that Kobe's still ranked and hasn't had a win since like 2022 or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. If you haven't seen that, we've all seen the clips, bro. That shit was just funny, bro. He was straight up roasting Bo, saying that he's never amounted to nothing in the sport of MMA, and like, yes, he might have shit on the the wrestling mat or whatever. But I don't know. Go watch it. It's really funny, good or whatever. I thought it was really funny. Um, Fuck that topic, low key. Anyway, number 6, Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green. This has been, I don't think it's been announced. I could be wrong, but I know it's rumored right now. I don't know for when or what. I think Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, but it could just be like in Las Vegas or somewhere, Houston. I don't know, but my prediction for that is Daniel Zellhuber sleeps Bobby Green or King Green. Sorry, changed his name. I think he sleeps King Green. I don't think it goes to a decision. I mean, there are only two possible outcomes in my opinion, or like is basically Bobby outvets or uses like his all his experience to kind of, like I said, yeah, I guess outvet Daniel Zellhuber and kind of like break him down slowly and like mentally break him down until he wins by a decision because he's just walking him down. Or Daniel Zellhuber is really, it does his slick shit as he does and catches Bobby Green and flatline KOs him. And me personally, my heart and my gut are both agreeing that Daniel Zellhuber will flatline Bobby, or sorry, flatline kill, flatline knockout. He's done. King Green. I think that's gonna happen. I don't know. I hope it's a head kick, or just like a clean 1-2. I just want it to be clean. And I think it will be. I think Daniel Zellhuber has really good striking. His ground games, I don't think it's gonna go to the ground at all. If it does go to the ground, it's gonna be Daniel Zellhuber shooting because, he got rocked or he doesn't like what he's feeling on the feet or he can't, really feel out Bobby Green to, find some sort of way to break through his guard to do what he needs to do. So yeah. But anyway, I think Daniel Zellhuber by honestly first or second round KO. Fight's gonna be really entertaining. Very excited for that fight. Number 7. All right, yeah. Let me talk about this. Let me get a little closer for it. I got pieced the fuck up low key on Wednesday, and now Twan is making me dedicate 3 rounds every day to using my lead hand only. And I started yesterday. Yesterday is the first day I went back to the gym. This happened last Wednesday. I didn't go to the gym last Thursday because I was beat low key. Not even just from that round right here or whatever, but I was just sore. I went hard last week, and I feel like I really needed an extra recovery day on Thursday. Feels sucks to not go to the gym, but I think I really needed it because I feel better. I feel really good this week. And imagine I did one more day. Imagine I hurt myself or something. Whatever. If it's a bunch of ifs, whatever. Anyway, it just was a hard round. And Tubbs made me go. This one dude, I'm not gonna say names or whatever. This is YouTube. You know what I'm saying? This is the internet. I'm not saying names or whatever, but I can admit here, man to man, that he got the better of me a little bit, and he rocked my shit a couple times, but he perfectly hit my shit right here. Like on Monday, I'm pretty sure in my last episode I talked about how I went offense defense with Ron, and I was on offense, Ron was on defense, and I ended up with a black eye. Crazy, I know it is what it is. So I already had a little bit of a black eye, but then on Wednesday, dude, just I don't even know, bro, but just perfectly hit me on the inside of my eye. So my whole shit was swollen right here. And like I said earlier, I was looking like the shark from Shark Tales, basically. Good round or whatever. I realized a lot. Tubbs told me I already looked better because I think I'm just not. Let me not leak myself, whatever. Tubbs said I looked better in certain areas where I needed to work on. Just from that round alone, he's already seen me, work on those things in those certain areas or whatever. Like I said, feels good, you know what I'm saying? And I'm recognizing what I need to do in those specific moments in those areas as well. So I feel like that hard round did help me realize, not even just realize a lot, but know what I need to do accordingly on situation just a little bit more, which is, me personally, I think that's 2% better that day than just 1% better. So, and you're never gonna truly know how good you are, or like be able to like not compare, but like rate yourself. You know what I mean? Like be honest with yourself if you don't have bad rounds or bro, basically, you're not gonna be able to get better if you don't have bad rounds. And I'm not saying I don't have bad rounds. I do. I'm admitting to one right now. But you can either let it break you or build you. And I'm choosing it to let me build me. It broke me a little bit, so I felt not like mentally defeated because it's just a sparring round, bro. Like at the end of the day, we're just sharpening each other. We're both in the same position trying to get better. But we're both at our own like path or whatever, or positioning on our journey of striking or just MMA or whatever these dudes are doing, whatever we're on. So, and the guy has hella more experience than me. And, the first couple times we sparred, I got the better of him. And there was moments where, he's getting hurt or whatever. We have to take a second. I'm not going to get into it. But, but I could tell that he was sparring me with a vengeance, bro. And that's when he was, like, piecing me up or whatever. And I could just feel it in his shots. And, like, I could also feel it by how my face was swollen. So... And, it's not always the best thing to want to go to work with a swollen face and, a little bit of 2 black eyes. But it is what it is. I just hate having to explain to my table that I got pieced up and I didn't do the piecing up, basically. But it is what it is. You live and you learn, and I'm choosing to make me a better person. So, you can understand that or get without it, basically. Number 8, bro. Oh, my God. I need to go back on Instagram for this one. Bro, Eddie Baker dropped the footage of his knee fucking just giving out on him, bro. I need to go to my saved. I think this is it. All right. We got Eddie Baker. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Bro, one more. We gotta run that back. One more, bro. Is in his first kick he threw, bro. Kick knee backwards. What the fuck? One more. I'm sorry. We have to watch that one more time. Oh. Fuck, bro. Fuck, dude. Fuck, dude. That shit has got to fucking hurt. His whole shit probably just dislocated, tore. Bro, it's crazy. Like, if you're... Dude, that's just... Dude. I love Eddie Baker. I love his music. I love him. He's funny as fuck. I love Eddie Baker. So, whatever I talk about from this topic has nothing to do with Eddie Baker himself. He's just the example because this happened to him. This might apply to him, but I'm not directly talking about him, if that makes sense. But to be that big and to move like that, you have to understand that something like that is going to happen. I don't know how long he was training before this. I assume a good amount to where he could take a little fight or whatever. I don't know if this is a for real fight or if this is literally just sparring, bro. But me personally, I'm just going to tell y'all, and I don't care if it's false information, this looks like a fight to me. Looks like he's about to scrap, even though it might be sparring, whatever. I'm just going to choose to believe that it's a fight because it just sounds cooler. But... damn, his shit, like, bro, like, straight up just turned, like, and folded on itself. Like, that's so fucked. Like, damn, dude. I don't even have too much to say about that. That straight up is just unfortunate. And I guarantee you he's probably still in a knee. Sorry, let's see this real quick. Shout out this guy. Anyway, yeah, bro, I feel so bad for Eddie Baker, but I wish him a full speedy recovery, and I hope all is well. Number 9, Brian Battle versus Johnny Emblem. Just going to talk about recover this one real quick. This got announced for a PFL fight. I don't really give a fuck about PFL, seriously, but I like Brian Battle. He's UFC, DBX, PFL. And DBX just posted promo, like, who should Brian Battle fight next? Me personally, I'm just going to let you know. I don't know who he should fight next, but I think he should fight on DBX 7 or 8. Like, give him some time to focus on this. MMA is really where he's trying to do or whatever. But let me give you my breakdown of how I think this fight is going to go. I'm assuming it's a 3-round fight. There's no belt on the line. Johnny Emblem's last fight, he lost the belt. He got choked out in the last round. It was a decent fight. 5th round was, crazy. He got choked out in the last in like under 30 seconds. It was crazy, whatever. Johnny Emblem or Emblin. What a Emblin? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not familiar with the guy. No disrespect. He's either going to try to smudge Bryan Battle all 3 rounds because he doesn't like what he feels from Bryan Battle striking and win by decision as his Tapology says he does most of the time. Or Bryan Battle is going to flatline KO him or rock him into a TKO up against the fence, basically. You know, me personally, I want the second thing to happen, but I could see the first thing happening, unfortunately. And, like, it playing out like, you know, Bryan's complaining that dude was smudging the whole time and, you know, the Butcher loses or whatever. Or Bryan Battle's actually been locked in with training, not just striking, and has been working on takedown defense to not let that happen, which I assume will be a big part of this camp. Brother. Uppercut of death, Bryan. Please, bro. That's my prediction. Bryan Battle, you know, they're in the motion of it. They're having a little war. They're getting scrappy. You know, makes dude bite on a feint. Dude bites. Uppercut. My prediction, I hope that's what happens. I think Bryan Battle's going to win, or, you know, I think my final prediction, yes, Bryan Battle is going to win by finish, TKO or KO. I don't think a flat line is going to happen, but I see, like, a finish, you know what I'm saying? Not a sub, a striking finish with fists, probably. Head kick would be crazy. Imagine Bryan Battle head kick. But, yeah, that's really it. It's all I got for y'all today. I got another video I'm trying to make on. I'm gonna make a video about my top 3 favorite prospects in not even prospects, just my favorite top 3 fighters in each weight class that I'm looking forward to see what they're doing in 2026. I'm probably gonna drop that tomorrow or Thursday. I'm gonna do my research, whatever. But, you know, after this, you know, I gotta go hit my big 3 miles on a treadmill, get my lifting in. Then we gotta pull up to the gym around 4:30, get that back working. But, you know, don't be afraid to go get your 3. You know what I'm saying? Go get your 3 in. You know, just start running 3 miles, and then once you get to that, you can start upping that. And then you can surpass my bare minimum, basically. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. If you watch the whole way through, like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to beg or whatever, but, you know, it goes a long way. Thank you. Take care. Adios, amigo.